Hi yogis and yoginis. So if you've never practiced yin yoga before, here's some quick guidelines to help to make this transition a little bit easier. So if you're used to normal active forms of yoga, you'll notice that when you come out of a yin yoga pose, there's quite a different feeling. So you'll probably have the urge to move very slowly and maybe to moan and groan to yourself a little bit, which is totally acceptable. And this is because what you've actually done is stretch out your fascia. So that urge to kind of move slowly is just your instinct, right, to come down nice and slow to allow the fascia to kind of come back to where it was, okay? So that's totally normal, and in fact, that means you've done a good job in yin if you've got that, what they call the yin yoga rebound effect. Okay, so, and then usually we take some time in between poses to allow ourselves to kind of really feel what's been happening and to allow that rebound effect to soften before we move on to another pose. Okay, so that urge to move slowly, moan and groan to yourself, that feeling of temporary fragility and vulnerability that you feel when you're coming out of a yin pose is totally normal and actually means you've done well. So that's one thing to make sure that you understand when you're starting to practice. So depending on the pose and your flexibility, it's also a really good idea when you're practicing yin to have props around. So whether that be blankets, blocks, bricks, bolsters, things like that, so that if you're not able to come into the full pose in any of them, you can use the props to help, or if you just want to be able to find ways to get yourself more comfortable because you are in these poses for a longer time. So that's always a good idea as well. And if you're brand new to yin, you're probably going to want to start timing yourself at 2 to 3 minutes to start off, and then gradually work your way up to 5. So there's nothing wrong with, of course, going past 5 minutes, but I would wait until you're quite experienced as a yin practitioner before you do more than 5. So typically in classes, you'll get between 2 and 5 minutes as a guideline to start off with. So if you're brand new, maybe you can time your poses for 2 minutes and then work your way up. And then as you get more experience, you can work yourself up. So those are some practice guidelines for yin yoga. So for those of you who may have done more active forms of yoga and are brand new to yin, those are some things to keep in mind. So I hope you found that those tips helpful as you start to explore some yin poses. And just remember to take your time, take it slow, and to enjoy. Namaste. Oh, hi. Hi there. What are you saying? Thanks. Say hi. Hi, Jax. You're interrupting, aren't you? Hmm? Interrupting.